Smart rings are quite an appealing tech wearable, and the Oura Ring 3 is arguably the smart ring to own. Having now worn the Oura Ring 3 almost every day since its launch over the last few months, including abroad in Thailand during this time, I feel like I might have made a mistake with this purchase though. Hey friends, Andrew here, hope you're well. There's good reasons why I feel like this purchase could be a mistake. Don't get me wrong, there are things that I love about this ring, but there's quite a few pitfalls with the Oura Ring 3 I feel like I should share before we go over the positives. So as much as I dislike having a pessimistic outlook, let's start with the negatives in this particular review, and there's frankly a few to get through. The first thing you'll come across is of course the price. It's not exactly cheap, and pricing borders on smartwatch territory. The Oura Ring I have here is a size 10 in heritage silver, which will set you back $299 US. The stealth black and gold finish will set you back an additional $100. It's a price point that isn't exactly cheap, but not ridiculously expensive either given what's on offer here, which is a light, compact, stylish and detailed sleep and fitness tracker. The pricing in itself isn't exactly a negative, but it's the new and controversial subscription model Oura has now forced onto existing and new customers. So we now have to pay $6 a month to access the insights and features that Oura Ring 1 and 2 users had for free. But are there any new features that we get with the monthly fee? Well, the new features like blood oxygen measurements and improved sleep stage tracking aren't even yet available on launch and even 3 months later. We do get a small library of guided meditation and focus videos, but that's hardly worth the monthly fee. And any way you cut it, there's something off-putting about having to pay a monthly fee to access our own health metrics and data. I totally understand, it's a business model at the end of the day. Oura is running an investor-backed business, but here is the thing that I guess irks me. To me, with the subscription fee and delayed features, Oura seems to be running a crowdfunding campaign. By buying or upgrading to the Oura Ring 3, it feels like we're sort of financing what is essentially an unfinished product. They're basically leveraging and nudging the current customers from the Gen 1 and 2 rings to become investors into the Gen 3 ring. But I guess that aside, what if you're watching this as a current Gen 2 ring owner? What are the differences, and is it worth the upgrade? Well, the largest difference is you're getting more sensors on the ring, extra infrared LED sensors, an advanced calibrated sensor, and 4 extra temperature sensors. This means more accurate tracking and more features in theory. They're set to be released in late 2022, which by then would have been a year since the launch of the Oura Ring 3. Anyway, those are the negatives. I feel like we've spent enough time on the negatives. Let's move on to a more positive note. The design of the Oura Ring is arguably its selling point. Minimal, sleek, and distraction-free. It's literally just a ring, and a nice looking one at that. The shimmer of the heritage silver, the nicely edged flat top, it all adds to its allure as a piece of jewelry, and this is coming from someone who is absolutely not a ring person. I've had next to nobody notice this ring, and that's a good thing. It's discreet just like it's intended to be. There are no screens or notifications to distract you, and it's so comfortable to wear, I forget it's on my finger entirely. These reasons alone is why I've worn the Oura Ring every day, and that's what counts. To get real value out of your tech wearable, you need to be, well, wearing it as much as possible. It's also really nice to have the choice to wear a mechanical watch with the ring or no watch at all, because I really need to get rid of this permanent Apple Watch tan that I got while traveling. But overall, I cannot fault the Oura Ring's terrific and understated design. Adding to its charm as a piece of jewelry, the battery life is by far the most durable out of any piece of tech I own right now. Unsurprising given that it has such a small footprint. But there's a freedom that's afforded when you don't have to charge a piece of tech for days on end. Like I mentioned, I was abroad for 2 weeks at the start of the year and only had to charge it just once during that trip. The Ring can be fully charged in just 30 to 40 minutes, and it's worth pointing out that unlike the Oura Ring 2 and the Oura Ring 3 monitors battery consumption and smartly conserves battery based on consumption patterns. The new charger now also includes an LED light to indicate the status of charging, which is always useful. The accompanying app is just as appealing as the design of the Ring itself. I've always found the Fitbit and even Apple Watch app interfaces to be pretty ugly. The Oura Ring app is both aesthetic and informative. On the homepage, you have your daily summary, which I check every morning, and it gives me my sleep score and the famous readiness score. It's a score calculated based on readiness contributors such as sleep, activity, and body stress. I typically dive in deeper and look at the detailed readiness and sleep tabs in the app, and honestly it gives you more data than you know what to do with. But once you dive deep into the metrics and get an understanding of what each means, it can be incredibly useful. For example, I find the heart rate variability metric to be extremely useful in telling me whether I'm under the weather before I even know it. A high HRV means my body is running optimally, while a sudden drop in HRV overnight might tell me that my body is recovering. Similarly, the sleep metrics are very deep yet simple to read at a glance. There is one thing that I find extremely odd when comparing the Oura Ring to the Fitbit, and it's the fact that deep sleep time and REM sleep seem to be flipped. So where on my Fitbit I struggled to get an hour of deep sleep, I'm now getting 2 to 3 hours according to the Oura Ring, and my REM sleep seems to now be the metric that sits at an hour. So it's basically flipped. I will say this though, and I hate to say it, but the sleep metrics on the Fitbit seem to reflect how I truly felt in person when I woke up in the morning more accurately than the Oura Ring. I don't know if this is placebo, but I think there's something to be said about the Fitbit and its accurate tracking. The good news is, Oura sleep stage tracking is set to be significantly improved as soon as they roll it out. But again, this should have been completed before they launched the new ring in the first place. So overall, honestly, there are many great pros and likewise many cons with the Oura Ring 3. It's a beautifully packaged sleep and activity tracker that's incredibly robust in its data given its form factor. The beautiful app is also informative and stands above other health apps that I've used. But the fact we now need to pay a monthly subscription for our own health data that is rightly ours doesn't sit well with me. To add fuel to the fire, if you're an early adopter, we're penalized due to the lack of new features that are currently in development. I can't help but feel like Oura has treated their new customers and even existing customers as beta testers for their latest product. And for these reasons, I'm hesitant in wholeheartedly recommending the Oura Ring. But despite this, and maybe ironically, it's still my favorite wearable because it's the wearable that I wear most. The design is arguably what draws me in, and the robust tracking is what keeps a ring on my finger. So if you're on the fence, here is my recommendation. If you value health and sleep data as much as you value design and jewelry, for example, then honestly, this is the wearable for you. Maybe just wait until they've nutted out the features and released everything they've initially promised, such as improved sleep stage tracking, blood oxygen tracking, and workout heart rate. Those things will come, so you might want to wait until they've fully released all the features. Anyway, drop the code word comments, smart ring, if you've made it this far into the video, and I'll give it a like. If you enjoyed this honest review, do drop a like and subscribe for more tech and business videos. As always, thank you for watching.